Just moments ago, Zambian President Hakainde Hichilema broke his silence on Edgar Lungu, and the reaction has stunned a nation. Stay tuned to hear his exact words, why this is a game changer, and what it means for Zambia's future. Shocking. Hichilema on Lungu has left Zambia speechless. Here's the full reaction, context, and why this moment matters. Shocking. Hichilema on Lungu, Zambia left speechless. On June 11, 2025, at 10 a.m., President Hakainde Hichilema addressed the nation from State House in Lusaka, responding to the sudden death of former President Edgar Lungu on June 10, 2025, at the University Teaching Hospital, reportedly due to a sudden illness at age 67. The press briefing, broadcast live on Zambia National Broadcasting Corporation, ZNBC, and streamed on platforms like X, was anticipated as a unifying condolence message to honor Lungu, Zambia's sixth president, 2015 to 2021. Instead, Hichilema's remarks, perceived as curt and critical, unleashed a torrent of controversy, leaving Zambians stunned and deepening the nation's political fault lines. The statement followed former Vice President Inange Waina's emotional condolence speech on June 10, where she criticized the United Party for National Development (UPND) government for delays in announcing mourning protocols, setting a tense backdrop. Hichilema's words, shared extensively on X with over 10,000 posts within 24 hours, sparked hashtags like #HichilemaApologize, #LunguLegacy, and #ZambiaMourns, reflecting a nation grappling with grief, anger, and division. The controversy has thrust Zambia into a critical juncture, testing Hichilema's leadership amid economic challenges, 15.2% inflation, Kwacha at 26.5 to USD, and a polarized political climate post-2021 elections. This moment, amplified by social and traditional media, underscores the delicate balance between mourning a former leader and navigating a restive populace. Hichilema's full quote on Lungu. Hichilema's full statement, delivered in a 90-second address, is as follows. Fellow Zambians, it is with a heavy heart that we acknowledge the passing of our sixth Republican president, Mr. Edgar Lungu, who led this nation from 2015 to 2021. His presidency was marked by notable achievements, including infrastructure development, but also by significant challenges that tested our nation's resilience. We extend our deepest condolences to his wife, Esther Lungu, their children, the Patriotic Front, and all Zambians who mourn his loss. I urge every citizen to honor his memory by mourning peacefully, reflecting on our shared history, and recommitting to a future built on accountability, unity, and progress. My government is actively working to ensure that appropriate arrangements are made to honor former President Lungu in a manner befitting his status as a former head of state. Let us remain calm and united during this time. The statement, delivered in a measured tone, was criticized for its brevity and lack of emotional depth. The phrase, notable achievements, including infrastructure development, but also significant challenges, was particularly contentious, seen by many as a backhanded reference to Lungu's economic struggles and allegations of corruption during his tenure. Critics argue that Hichilema failed to elaborate on Lungu's contributions, such as the $1.2 billion Lusaka-Ndola dual carriageway, the expansion of Kenneth Kaunda International Airport, or rural electrification projects that connected over 200,000 households. The mention of challenges evoked memories of Zambia's debt crisis, peaking at $12.7 billion in 2021, and political tensions, including the controversial 2016 elections, which many felt was inappropriate during a condolence address. Supporters of Hichilema, however, view the statement as a diplomatic balance, acknowledging Lungu's contributions while maintaining his administration's stance on accountability. A pro-UPND post on X stated, "HH didn't lie. Lungu's tenure had ups and downs. He showed respect but kept it real." The contrast with Inange Waina's heartfelt speech, which praised Lungu's personal sacrifices and called for unity, amplified perceptions of Hichilema's remarks as cold and politically charged. The statement's formal delivery, lacking personal anecdotes or warmth, further fueled public discontent, with many expecting a more empathetic tone akin to Hichilema's condolence message for Kenneth Kaunda in 2021. Why Zambians are shocked. The public's shock stems from a confluence of cultural, political, and emotional factors. Zambia's cultural norms place immense value on respectful mourning, particularly for former presidents, who are seen as national symbols. Past examples, such as the elaborate state funerals for Michael Sata, 2014, and Kenneth Kaunda, 2021, set a precedent for dignified, unifying tributes. Hichilema's statement, delivered just 24 hours after Lungu's death, was expected to bridge political divides and honor a leader who, despite controversies, commanded loyalty in PF strongholds like the Copperbelt, Eastern, and Northern provinces, where he secured over 60% of votes in 2016 and 2021. The phrase, significant challenges, was perceived as a veiled critique of Lungu's economic mismanagement and alleged authoritarianism, including the 2016 arrest of Hichilema himself on treason charges. This reference, during a time meant for mourning, was seen as a breach of decorum. An ex-user posted, "HH couldn't wait one day to settle scores with ECL? This is a disgrace to Zambian values." The statement's timing exacerbated tensions, coming on the heels of Waina's criticism of the government's failure to announce a national mourning period or funeral plans, which had already sparked protests in Kitwe and Dola. Lungu's enduring popularity, rooted in his charismatic leadership and visible projects, made the perceived slight particularly jarring. His policies, like the Farmer Input Support Program (FISP) expansion, benefited rural voters, while his urban infrastructure projects resonated in cities. PF supporters view Hichilema's remarks as disrespectful to these achievements, with some alleging a continuation of post-2021 persecution, including legal probes into Lungu's wealth and restrictions on his political rallies. Conversely, UPND supporters argue that Hichilema's candor reflects his commitment to truth, with one ex-post reading, "Why glorify a man who left Zambia in debt? HH spoke for the future, not the past." The shock is amplified by Zambia's economic struggles. 15.2% inflation, 13% unemployment, and a kwacha at historic lows, making Hichilema's perceived insensitivity a lightning rod for broader discontent. Political context and response. The political context is defined by the deep-seated rivalry between the UPND and PF, which has shaped Zambia's political landscape since the 2011 election of Michael Sata. Lungu's presidency, 2015 to 2021, saw significant achievements, including $3 billion in infrastructure spending and increased foreign investment in mining. However, it was also marred by a ballooning debt crisis, with Zambia defaulting on a $42.5 million Eurobond payment in 2020 and allegations of corruption, with Transparency International ranking Zambia 117th globally in 2020. Hichilema's 2021 campaign capitalized on these issues, promising economic recovery and anti-corruption measures. Since taking office, his administration has pursued aggressive legal action against PF leaders, including seizing assets allegedly linked to Lungu, which PF supporters view as vendettas. Lungu's death has reignited these tensions, with his passing seen as a potential turning point for reconciliation or escalation. Hichilema's statement has drawn sharp responses. In Waina, on June 12, Waina issued a scathing rebuke, calling the statement a missed opportunity for leadership and divisive at a time when Zambia needs healing. She urged Hichilema to apologize and expedite funeral arrangements, citing cultural norms. Patriotic Front, PF interim president Given Labinda announced nationwide vigils and demanded a public apology, accusing Hichilema of desecrating ECL's memory. Protests in Lusaka, 500-plus attendees, Kitwe, 1,000+, and Dola, 800+, saw PF supporters chanting "Justice for Lungu," with minor clashes reported. Civil society. The Zambia Conference of Catholic Bishops issued a statement urging restraint and humility, calling for a national dialogue. The Non-Governmental Gender Organizations Coordinating Council, NGOC, and the Law Association of Zambia, LAZ, echoed calls for unity, emphasizing inclusive funeral planning. International community, SADC leaders, including Zimbabwe's Emerson Mnangagwa and Malawi's Lazarus Chakwera, issued condolences praising Lungu's regional role in SADC summits, indirectly highlighting Hichilema's perceived misstep. The African Union expressed hope for peaceful mourning. Public reaction. Ex-posts reflect a polarized nation, with 12,000+ mentions of hashtag Hichilema apologize versus 8,000+4 hashtag HH spoke truth by June 12. PF supporters share images of Lungu's projects, while UPND defenders cite economic data to justify Hichilema's tone. The controversy unfolds against Zambia's economic woes, with a 15.2% inflation rate, 13% unemployment, and a kwacha at 26.5 to USD fueling public frustration. The government's delay in announcing mourning protocols, 48 hours without a declared national mourning period, has compounded perceptions of incompetence, especially after Waina's critique. What's next for Zambia? The fallout from Hichilema's statement demands immediate action to prevent escalation and long-term strategies to heal divisions. Immediate steps include state funeral planning. The government must announce a comprehensive plan for Lungu's funeral, likely a 7-day national mourning period starting June 13th, with public viewings in Lusaka, Kitwe, and Chipata, culminating in a state ceremony at Heroes Acre. A budget of $2 to $3 million, based on Konda's funeral, is expected. A multi-stakeholder committee, including Edgar Lungu, PF leaders, and traditional figures like Senior Chief Mpazini, is critical for inclusivity. Public clarification: Hichilema could issue a follow-up statement or apology to defuse tensions, emphasizing Lungu's contributions. A televised address on ZNBC or a town hall in a PF stronghold like Chipata could rebuild trust. A pro-UPND source on X suggests a named project, like the Edgar Lungu Highway, as a gesture. Security and dialogue. With protests in PF strongholds, the Zambia Police Service has deployed 2,000 officers in urban centers. Avoiding heavy-handed tactics is crucial to prevent violence, as seen in 2016 riots. Civil society-led dialogues, facilitated by churches or the Oasis Forum, could calm tensions. Medium-term actions focus on trust-building. National Unity Conference. Proposed by the Church and LAZ, a conference could address polarization, establish mourning protocols for future leaders, and discuss reconciliation. SADC mediators may assist, given regional interest. Economic stabilization. The government's July 2025 IMF debt restructuring talks must deliver relief, with a $1.3 billion bailout pending. Addressing food prices, maize at K350/bag, and unemployment could prevent Lungu's death from fueling broader unrest. Political strategy. With 2026 elections looming, Hichilema must appeal to PF voters. Visiting Lungu's family or attending a PF-led vigil could signal goodwill, though UPND hardliners may resist. Long-term implications involve reshaping Zambia's political culture. Mourning framework. A permanent national memorial commission, proposed by analysts, could standardize protocols for honoring leaders, preventing future controversies. Combating misinformation. Conspiracy theories about Lungu's death, e.g., poisoning, are circulating on X. Transparent communication, including a coroner's report if appropriate, could counter these. ZNBC and X campaigns can clarify funeral plans. Healing divisions. Lungu's death highlights UPND-PF mistrust. A truth and reconciliation process, modeled on South Africa's, could address post-2021 grievances, though political will is uncertain. Citizens are organizing vigils, with 5,000 expected at a Lusaka memorial on June 13th. The international community, including SADC and the Commonwealth, may offer technical support for funeral logistics. Hichilema's ability to pivot from this misstep, balancing accountability with empathy, will shape Zambia's path toward unity or further division, with X and media as key battlegrounds for public sentiment.